Does being circumcised reduce sexual sensation? Let's see what they say here, because I have experience with that. That is disgusting. How's it going, boys? So today we're going to be looking at the topic circumcised versus uncircumcised. Which one is better? And today we're going to be looking at an article from Men's Health website, according to experts. And I'm going to debunk that because I personally was uncircumcised in the past and now I'm circumcised. So I want to take a look at what they're saying here in this article and tell you if that's true or not. So if you guys like such videos, I'd really appreciate it if you leave it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so don't miss out on future videos. And anyways, let's begin with this article. So, what to know about circumcised versus uncircumcised penises according to experts. The truth about the great cut versus uncut debate. For decades, circumcision was something of a given in the United States. The procedure, which entailed removing the foreskin, the sheath of skin around the head of the penis, was considered a standard procedure for babies assigned male at birth, regardless of their culture or religion background, with doctors citing its health and hygiene benefits. But recently, circumcision has been on decline. Between 1979 and 2010, the national rate of newborn circumcision in the US dropped from 64% to 58%. That is not a big drop. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, that's still much higher than world average, with researchers estimating that 37 to 39% of men are circumcised globally. The truth is that circumcision isn't a necessary procedure for a penis owner to live a happy and healthy life, says urologist Dr. Jamil I don't know what. Let's dig deeper into everything there is to know about circumcised versus uncircumcised penises. So, circumcised versus uncircumcised, what's the difference? Functionally, there is no major difference between a circumcised and uncircumcised penis, this doctor says. However, removing the foreskin creates an aesthetic difference between a circumcised and uncircumcised penis, particularly when the penis isn't erect. Physically, there is a stark difference in how the penis looks when flaccid. On an uncircumcised penis, you will likely not see the head of the glans or the opening of the urethra. That's obvious. In a properly circumcised penis, the glans and urethra opening are clearly visible. So, what are the health benefits and safety concerns associated with circumcision? To a degree, the consensus in the medical community is still that circumcision does slightly reduce the risk of certain UTIs and STIs. The overall risk of urinary tract infections in males is low, but these infections are more common in uncircumcised males, this doctor says. Severe infections early in life can lead to kidney problems later on. As for STI, circumcised men might have a lower risk of certain sexually transmitted infections, including HIV. And the key word here is might have a lower risk. Still, safe sexual practice remains essential, obviously. Okay, so one thing I'd like to note here is that even though I got circumcised, I actually have gotten a UTI, so urinary tract infection, when I was back in Bangkok. I have no idea why that happened, maybe from anal sex, maybe not, I was just guessing. But I was circumcised and I got it anyway, so I don't know if that means anything. In 2012, the American Academy of Pediatrics issued a statement saying that notwithstanding the potential rare complications of circumcisions, including bleeding, infection, and penile necrosis, whatever that is, the health benefits of newborn male circumcision outweigh the risks. But over the years, emerging research has thrown some of the stated benefits of circumcision into question. For instance, while some studies of African men indicated that circumcision could reduce the risk of HIV transmission by as much as 60%, the research design was inherently flawed. No wonder. They only examined the health behavior of heterosexual men, and the results cannot be generalized across cultures, says sex therapist Kimberly Jackson. That's why more and more patients are choosing to forego procedure, and some doctors are refusing to perform it. I have not performed a circumcision since 1994, says Stephen Dorfman, MD. There's even an entire movement, intactivism, devoted to propagating the idea that male circumcision is a cruel and barbaric practice. I do agree with that, especially when they're still babies. You don't have the right to cut something off of a baby without having the consent of a baby, and he cannot give you consent, so you shouldn't touch a baby until he's an adult, and then he's gonna decide whether he wants to cut something off his dick or not. Are circumcised penises more hygienic? As to the question of whether circumcised is more hygienic than being uncut, it is true that guys who are uncut do have to contend with smegma, an odorless and harmless cheese-like substance underneath the foreskin. But washing underneath the foreskin daily and rinsing the head of the penis can easily remedy that issue. That is disgusting. Does being circumcised reduce sexual sensation? Let's see what they say here, because I have experience with that. For many people, this is $1 million question. Does circumcision reduce penile sensitivity? Some health experts claim that circumcision can reduce sexual sensation, and it will. It will reduce it a lot, as the procedure removes thousands of nerve endings in the penis. In fact, 2007 study found that the glans of uncircumcised penis was more sensitive to light touch than the glans of circumcised penis. That is 100% true, according to my experience. It is also thought that the extra skin adds more friction and stimulation to the clitoris during penetration. How is that even possible? Both get extra pleasure. I have no idea how is the foreskin related to the clitoris. No idea. That said, studies show that there is no significant change in sensation in adult men who undergo circumcision. That is a bunch of bullshit. Dr. Alex, director of urology at New York urology specialist, a 2016 study confirmed this, finding that men who were circumcised experienced the same level of sexual pleasure as men who were not. Look, you are gonna experience pleasure. There is no arguing that. Obviously, I still enjoy having sex, but you are not gonna feel the head of your penis. It's just like, before you get circumcised, try touching the head of your penis with your finger or with some piece of clothing. It's gonna be extremely uncomfortable because it's extremely sensitive. Now, once you get circumcised, the head of your penis is gonna be dry all the time, and you wouldn't have any problem touching it with your finger or rubbing it against your underwear because you're simply not gonna feel anything. Does being circumcised make it easier or harder to get someone pregnant? Fear not, the foreskin has no bearing on your swimmers. Circumcision does not alter the rate of pregnancy, this doctor said. Do people prefer uncircumcised penises? Although the research on the health and sexual benefits of circumcision is mixed, some parents still would prefer to circumcise their kids for aesthetic reasons. Those parents, in my opinion, are criminals because they don't want their sons to feel weird next to other kids in the locker room. Oh my God, that is a bunch of bullshit, dude. You go cut a little baby's dick so that he will not feel uncomfortable in the locker room. Who told you he's gonna feel uncomfortable? And some guys still do think that their sexual partners prefer circumcised penises to uncircumcised ones. Now, from my personal experience, I can tell you that most girls I've been with do say that they prefer circumcised more. However, their opinion shouldn't matter. You shouldn't do the operation based on their opinion because at the end of the day, it's your dick. So you don't go telling girls to chop the hood off of their clit so that you can easily find the clit more or have their pussy more hygienic. So the same applies to women telling men what to do. You know, you shouldn't go according to a woman's opinion. That is my opinion. But when it comes down to it, that's probably not the case. While there are a few surveys indicating that what people's preference are, a lot of people really don't care if their sexual partners are circumcised or not, especially as more and more parents choose not to circumcise their kids. I can testify to that. At the end of the day, the girls that said that they prefer circumcised, they really didn't care that much. Like, if you were not circumcised, they wouldn't like not fuck you or something. So they would fuck you anyway. So all I'm saying is don't do it because of girls. Do it if you feel it's necessary for you. I don't discriminate, says some woman. It doesn't matter to me. Plus, I'm not everyone's idea of perfect down there. Exactly, so that's what said Maria. And if you look at women's pussies, each pussy is completely different. Some have like long labia, some have long lips or big lips, some have a big clit, some have a small clit, some have no lips whatsoever. So we don't go asking women to chop their pussy or something. So they shouldn't be asking us to do an operation on our dick. That's my opinion. And anyways, that was the whole of the article. My personal opinion is don't get circumcised unless you absolutely need it. And let me tell you when is the case to get circumcised and when you might need it. So number one is, say you had an infection that wouldn't go away because you are circumcised and the infection is from the foreskin. First, you should, exhaust all the resources, use all the possible creams and antibiotics, try to cure it without cutting anything. But if you feel like you tried everything and it's not working, perhaps you can go that route. I don't recommend you, I don't tell you to do it, you should consult your doctor, obviously. Number two is, if you are extremely sensitive, and I talked with one of my clients and he was not lasting in bed at all. Like, he would last for just a few seconds because he was extremely sensitive. And after reading this article, as you can see, cutting the foreskin will make you much less sensitive and you might be able to last longer in bed. Obviously, it's not guaranteed, but then you don't have to worry about the sensitivity because you're already super sensitive. So there's not really much to lose there, if you know what I mean. Again, I'm not a doctor, I'm just telling you from my personal experience. My personal experience, you're gonna lose a lot of sensitivity when you get circumcised. It will be much easier to clean your dick. Girls, or some girls, might prefer that more. However, that's not a reason to actually get circumcised. That's my take on it. This is the article. Let me know what you guys think about the information that was stated here in the article. I'd love to hear your opinion. And anyways, if you did like this video and you want me to make more videos like this one, I'd really appreciate it if you leave it a thumbs up. Also, if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe to that channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on future videos. And anyways, I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye-bye.